Hi, my name is May, and tonight I would like to talk a little bit about the third week of Peaceful Warrior Immersion at the Miami Valley School. And so I think the biggest thing this week was probably change in some areas. And I think it had to do with all the meditating we did, and some talks we listened to by Reggie Ray, and also some of our work at the dojo, because that was kind of the focus of the week. We mostly meditated. We worked out a couple times, and we went to the dojo. So, as far as meditating goes, we spent a lot of time doing that with Mr. McGlon, and also the like recordings that Reggie Ray made. And so when we were meditating as a group, a lot of times it was hard for me to kind of not get in the zone, but just have that experience like I had last week where I was just totally experiencing and in the moment, so to speak. And it was like painful because we were doing some longer sits, and I was kind of sore from working out the previous day, and I was kind of having a hard time sitting, and I was better able to feel like the concentration in the room at times. So even though I was having a hard time, I noticed that there were people concentrating, and I knew that everyone else was going through some pain too because we had talked about it after other meditations and how that was just kind of part of it, and you kind of have to sit with the pain and focus on your breath to move through it. But what I kind of took away from that is that in general, like, you're not as alone in pain as you think you are. And I think that goes for meditation as well as life in general, because I had some times where I thought, oh, I'm the only one going through this, like times a couple years ago when hard things would happen. And I thought, nobody understands this, like nobody knows where I'm coming from, nobody's known me before this, and they don't know things that have happened in my life, and they couldn't understand my situation, and kind of that melodramatic mindset where it's like I'm the only one going through this, when really it's not like that at all. And now I've realized I was never as alone as I thought I was, and I've done that through thinking about what I've experienced in meditation and kind of applying it to other times in my life. So I think this feeling has all kind of affected us in different ways, and I've definitely seen it come out in the group dynamic and spirit, because we're all more perceptive about each other, and we all just feel kind of bonded with each other in a way, because we're all going through this together, and we're all kind of experiencing pain in different ways, because we're experiencing it in different parts of our body. And something that comes with sitting with yourself and really getting inside yourself for a long period of time during the day, every day. Something that comes with that is reflection on yourself and reflection on your life, and that can be hard. And so I think we all know that we're going through this, and we're a lot closer just in a different way than you would be close with somebody by talking to them a lot or getting to know them through school or something. Because at the beginning of the week and at the beginning of the immersion, we were all kind of separate and on our own mats and stuff, and we'd still talk to each other and everything. But as the week progressed and as the immersion progressed, but especially with this week, people were kind of, switching mats every now and then, and it wasn't a big deal, or, switching spots, and sometimes people would sit with each other on the mat, friends or whatever. And then at the end of the day, Friday, after our meditation in the afternoon, all of a sudden we all just started hugging. And it was really cool, and it was just kind of accepted. And so I think that that's definitely been a huge special thing that's really unique, because I can't think of any other situation where I could have even thought of that happening, between a completely, well, not completely, but really different group of people that didn't really know each other that well at the beginning of the immersion. I wouldn't have thought that I would feel so close to these people at this point. or that I would be so willing to stand up for them in any situation, but I really would. And I think they would do that for me too. Um, let's see. The other thing I was thinking about was some of the some of what we listened to by Reggie Ray, and it's kind of it's introduced a mindset to me. I mentioned it in an earlier video, but it's introduced a mindset to me that I think is really positive, and I'm going to try to incorporate in my life more. And it's the feeling that, like, the universe expresses itself in us, and like we already have, like, in our own devices, we have everything we need already. And so if we have dreams or wishes or like a destiny, then we already have what we need to not attain it, but live it out. And we already have that, like, joy of life and like fascination with everything that we can channel in ourselves, and it's made me just a lot more happy, and it's given me a better way to look at things, and it's definitely more adventurous, and I think it's a lot better than, the typical mindset of apathy that you can get in a lot of teenagers sometimes, or really just anyone that gets kind of discontent with their situation and comes up with an excuse to say, oh, this is the way things are because of this external factor or whatever. But really, even though those can have a lot of bearing on our lives, I think I've realized that a lot of things are just the way that you look at it. And everybody at some point has to deal with something in their life, and the way that you deal with it and the way that you come out of these experiences kind of is what defines your reality in certain ways. So it was a pretty big week in terms of some spiritual sides of it, and also group bonding and personal reflection, I think, because I think it's really special for us to have had this time to reflect and to grow as a group. I think it's incredibly special, and I feel so lucky to have participated and grown. So thank you so much for listening.